Something just came across my desk, John. It is perhaps the best thing I've seen in the last 6 months. If you have 60 seconds, I'd like to share the idea with you. You got a minute? Name of the company.
Canton Coin is a utility-driven blockchain technology that I believe is flying way under the radar. Now, unlike the guy that you just saw, I am not hunting for a 50% commission from you. In fact, I would like to share this golden goose with you today for free. Mostly to provide constructive notice that I called it before it was cool. Now, of course, none of this is financial advice. Please, before you put your hard-earned money into anything, whether that be an investment or just something you want, please do your own research and decide if it's something that truly is for you. Now, without further ado, let's get into why I believe Canton presents an exceptional risk to reward ratio at this time. First of all, this is not a buy and hold until 2030 type of coin. This is strictly a trade. Now, let me explain why I say that. Frankly, from a tokenomics perspective, this coin sucks for retail traders. The reason I say this is because, yes, there are fee burns associated with use of the network. There's also minting as rewards for just about every participant in the infrastructure picture. Now, from a core financial infrastructure perspective, for real-world use, this is really smart, but it's not great for retail traders long term. The other reason why I say it is just a trade is because it's not actually required for those who wish to use Canton's technology to actually hold the coin. What this means is that long term, there's no reason to actually hold Canton in large quantities for most parties. This completely takes off the table the main factor for price appreciation of most mature crypto assets. With these facts in isolation, it sounds like a terrible idea to even buy this at all. Why am I presenting this as a good trade opportunity? It's a reasonable question. Well, the way I see it is because we live in the real world where people don't actually do their research and they buy because of good news and number go up. Canton has only been trading since November 10th, 2025 on public exchanges. And even in the face of difficult macro environments, Canton, following an initial pull down following release, has returned around 150% since early December. Why did that happen? Well, it was announced on December 17th, 2025, that the DTCC would be partnering with the Canton network to tokenize US Treasury securities. And this was big news. While it's just a pilot program, the DTCC is a financial beast. In 2024 alone, they settled $3.7 quadrillion worth of volume. Now, adding fuel to the fire, on January 7th, JP Morgan announced that they would be using Canton as the backbone to their private JPM coin. And once again, people bought the news. While I think it's obvious that Canton is not a retail-friendly coin in the long run, it is proven time and time again that it responds to narrative. And I believe the narrative isn't over yet. I see three main reasons why Canton will be, in the coming months, in the news in a big way. The first of which is, it's not listed on many exchanges yet. It's really only publicly tradable on Kraken, Mexi, Wex, and KuCoin. This is what I've seen. There could be more. There's other ways to get there through DeFi platforms. But for the traditional trader, it's not very accessible. when it's listed on, say, Coinbase, Binance, and other big platforms, that will bring a lot of liquidity to the space. The second big piece of news that I see coming for the Canton network comes in the form of real-world assets. Currently, Canton has around 90% market share of this space already. This translates to around $350 billion worth of real-world assets already on the Canton network. And there are rumors of up to $6 trillion already on the network that just haven't been announced yet. This could be the case because it is a privacy-based chain and not everything is publicly available. If this were to be announced and the $6 trillion are there, this would really bring it into the news and get some people excited. The third and largest reason that I believe Canton presents a great short to medium term trade is the potential for the Clarity Act to be signed into law soon. It is slated to be voted on January 15th in the Senate, and it could be confirmed quite quickly after that. The Canton network is exactly what the finance world wants in a blockchain. It was built by bankers for bankers. It's one of the only blockchains that doesn't violate core banking requirements. Banks have not been sitting out on crypto because they hate innovation. They have been sidelined because laws have not kept up with the times. With huge partnerships already announced for Canton, I believe that with the passing of the Clarity Act and legal clarity brought to the space, there will be a slurry of institutions and banks that name Canton as their preferred network for real-world use. I think that will drive retail traders into a frenzy and potentially become exit liquidity for you and me. Now, I think it's important for me to mention that I am not betting the house on this one. The danger is real that the Clarity Act will continue to get kicked on down the line and not pass before the midterms get into full swing. If this were to happen, I believe that Canton will probably chop sideways for quite some time. I, myself, have an aggressive speculative bet on Canton at this time, with about 30% of my crypto portfolio allocated to it. I urge you to go do your own research on the topic, look into Canton more, get on TradingView, do some TA, maybe do some research into the founders of Canton, and ultimately come to your own conclusion. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, I appreciate your time. That's all for me today. Until next time.